Hi YouTube, it's me, Nicola of Socks. Welcome back to my channel. I have enclosed my final Murakami not color media. Well, not my final Murakami collection. Multicolour, that's the one. Oh, menopausal brains are great. So I thought, let's unbox it with you guys. We'll see what packaging we've got. This is from the drop that happened at the same time as Cherry Blossom dropped. So they restocked a number of the pieces. Quite a few of them are still available on the LV website. So if you want things like bandos and scarves, especially in the white multicolour, get yourself onto Louis Vuitton's website. At least in the UK, they're still there. So let's not make you wait longer. Son of a nutcracker. Well, I wasn't expecting that. So that's not my first of the Murakami carrier bags, but wow. Must be because it's an online purchase and you're looking inside that box and you're going, dear Lord, we have more. How on earth? So see, it's not a massive box. We've got a panda buddy. Hello, Super Flat Panda. What I love is they've got this on the back. We've got some of the beautiful ribbon. There won't be any tissue paper because from what I know, I don't know anybody in the UK that's had tissue paper. So LV must have just said, we don't want no tissue paper here. Yeah. You're probably thinking, oh, that's not huge. So I love these boxes because I actually think it's clever that you pull it out. It's as if someone clever designed them. So what do you think might be in here now? This could be seen by some as indulgent. However, I'm sure I've seen on someone's YouTube page a different way you can use this item. So, oh my god. Now, I didn't buy any of the white multicolour. There's a product code, etc. if you need it. Is she beautiful or what? But look, she's got pink. I love the fact that you have your 4 symbols here. You've got the Louis Vuitton X Murakami made in France for the 20th year collection. I think you could use this for so much more. So, totally flat there. Room for cards and whatever else in that bit. Clearly it's a passport holder, but what I've seen is notepads that fit in there. So that's my plan, is to use it as a kind of notepad stroke agenda. Now, I've got black multicolour and now I've got white multicolour. I think the colours pop more on the black. Maybe that's personal choice. But yeah, I just think it's absolutely beautiful. It was the pink interior that absolutely sold it for me. Because pink is, I feel like pink is my spirit animal. I just love it. It makes me happy, it makes me smile, it just makes everything feel better. Even if it's a really shitty day, I just feel magical when I've got something pink or I'm wearing something pink. Make of that what you will. It works for me, so I absolutely love it. So yeah, my final piece, it feels quite sturdy. Obviously the Murakami symbols and everything are a lot smaller on this version. You've got room for 1, 2, 3, 4 cards plus this. I don't think you use that. You could put money in it, I suppose, but you can clearly put your passport in there and you could have your cards. So ideal if you're going away somewhere, or even your travel documents, I would say. There's a whole story about me and a passport that I'm going to share now, because I said to hubby, after this disaster happened, I'm going to get a passport cover. Now, I didn't say I was buying a Louis Vuitton one. It just so happened that this came out. But anyway, I talked to you guys about I go travelling with work sometimes. So this last travel, well, the one before that actually, was to Poland. To Gdansk, and then on to a beautiful seaside resort called Gdynia in February, which was very, very cold. But anyway, that's not the story. Hubby's in charge of the passports, always. He likes to have them himself so that he is responsible. So gets to the airport with hours to spare, leisurely having a coffee and everything else as you do. Then eventually meets my workmate sitting at the gate waiting for the flight, goes to show him my passport picture to give him a laugh. I realise I don't have my passport. I have my husband's. Yeah, this is 40 minutes before the plane takes off. So then I had to run to the gate, explain the situation, and she was totally unsympathetic. We'll just need to offboard you off the flight, love. Nothing we can do. And I was like, but I can get him to drive here. He can get here in plenty of time. And she says, it's not the time it takes him, it's whether we've got resource free to bring a passport through. And I was like, well, that's a bit shitty, to be perfectly honest. But she says, phone him anyway, give it a try. So phones. I'll be complete and utter panic, drives from where we live to the airport, which is only about 15 minutes. Eventually, it felt like an eternity because she made me sit at the standby bit at the front so she could watch me like a hawk. She was probably thinking, troublemaker here. So eventually, sitting, waiting. I'm like, this is never going to happen. And he phones me just before the boarding. I'm at the airport. So he manages to find a lady from EasyJet, I think it was. It wasn't EasyJet it was flying with. It was KLM, really good airline, really impressed by them. So she said to the woman, if I can find someone, I'll get it brought through for you and we'll get you on the plane. And I was like, magic. So eventually, wait. No idea if I'm getting on this plane or not. Phones my boss, explains the situation. She was lovely. She's like, these things happen. It will never happen again to you because you'll be so paranoid about it now. She'd already told me that my connection, so you couldn't even fly direct from Glasgow to it. My connection, I would miss it because there was no more planes from there to Amsterdam. So I had to fly Glasgow, Amsterdam, Gdansk. So next flight that they've got that day for it is already over full. I was like, great, why do airlines sell flights over full anyway? That's just wrong. That's a whole other video probably. But anyway, eventually finds out that yes, they have found someone to run through the passport. And the woman at the desk is now boarding everybody and says to me, if they're not here by X time, you're not getting on. Nothing more I can do. She says, there's a guy there that's in charge of letting the plane go. And I was pleading and begging with him, crying, giving it, please, I need to get on this. It's with my work. I'll get into so much. I just laid it thick. I'll get into so much trouble if I don't go on, etc. As if by magic, I see this young person sprinting through the departure bit. And is it not the wee guy from EasyJet with my passport? Yeah. So gets me to the bit, gets to the plane, manages to get on the flight safely with 1 minute to spare. Obviously, everyone's used all the overhead luggage bits for their hats and their scarves and their jackets, even though they've been told about 4 times not to. Took them about 5 minutes to find somewhere to put my bag. Once they moved people's shit out of the way, I couldn't even get through the plane without banging into people because they were all leaning out to see what was going on. I was also lucky someone else who'd checked in their bag never made it to the flight, so they had to delay the plane slightly to get his bags off. Fortunately, I didn't have that situation because my bags were all with me, so I could literally just walk on. So the moral of that is, buy a passport holder and keep your passport differently from your husband's. I'll tell you the final truth that I never realised right to the end. My UK passport is the old style red. Hubby's UK passport is the new style blue. Why didn't I notice? Who knows? But I'm going to notice in the future. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video and that little bit of a story time that came along with it. Yeah, fingers crossed you don't think I'm a complete and utter nightmare. I'm just so pleased that the airport in question were so helpful. It was Glasgow Airport. I've submitted a compliment piece to the airport to say thank you for your amazing service. So hopefully that person who ran through the airport got a bit of recognition because he deserves it. Because he was like Mo Salah or who's the foot? No, Mo Salah's long distance. He does was a bit endurance, probably a bit like oh, what's his name? No, I keep wanting to say Dwayne Johnson. He's not even that. The Jamaican guy. I can't remember your name. I'm sorry. We'll just say Carl Lewis because he was a 200-metre runner, I think. Maybe Linford Christie, or am I giving my age away too much there? But anyway, yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you'll stick around and watch my new video. I'm also going to be launching a second channel. Yes, I know, I can barely keep up with filming one channel, never mind having a second. But I did say I was getting into weight loss, so I've already started my weight loss. This is week 5 of it. You might have noticed a difference in me, you might not. I'm sitting down a lot, so it might be difficult for you to tell. But if you have and you want to see something nice, I'd love to hear it. But yeah, I won't be publicising it with you guys because you're here for the luxury. You're not here for my weight loss. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye.